Breaking news this morning. A man is taken to the hospital after being shot overnight. Officers say the man was driving himself to the hospital and called 911. He eventually stopped for police at Northwest 7th and Chartel, but was uncooperative. His condition is unknown right now. No names have been released. More breaking news all across the metro. We have crews at two different scenes in Oklahoma City right now.
First, let's go to Ashley Holden in southwest Oklahoma City, where police are investigating a toddler's death. Ashley, good morning. What have you been able to find out?
Robin Lacey, we're still waiting for police to give us an update because we have limited information, but you can see that we still have an officer here on scene. They've been here throughout the overnight. We also have the home that we're talking about here still taped off. Here's what we know so far. The toddler is a 3-year-old Hispanic male. We're told police were called to this home here for an unresponsive child. They did transport that toddler to the hospital. That's where he died. We're not sure of the cause yet. Now police are trying to figure out who was at home with the child. Currently, as far as we know, no one is in custody. We were told overnight that police may be heading back out here to the scene early this morning. That's what we're waiting on right now. We're again hoping for an update, hoping to get some of those questions that we have answered. For now, live in southwest Oklahoma City, Ashley Holden, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
Now to the northwest side, our Chris Gilmore is live, where a couple of guys actually found an explosive device earlier this morning.
And police had to detonate it. Chris Gilmore on the scene for us. Chris, what's going on out there?
Well, the scene has cleared, but we had a chance to speak to those two guys. They say they found that suspected pipe bomb completely by accident while they were cleaning out a home. They brought it to their home, an apartment complex here near Northwest 26th and Western. Once they opened that box, they put it in between that brick wall you see behind me and that dumpster to protect their families, who they say live just on the other side of that building. Now, once they were able to contact police, they were able to give them a little bit of background about how they were cleaning out an abandoned building on the south side. The job site supervisor there allowed them to clean out whatever they wanted from the home and take what they wanted. They chose that lunchbox, which they took home and opened. That's when they noticed what was inside and called police. We asked them about that moment.
They shot it once and nothing happened, and then like a couple hours later they shot it again, and right after that second shot it boom.
Yeah, you saw the whole apartment shake and everything. It
was crazy. It's I've never experienced anything like this in my life, and I'm just thankful my family's alive and my family's safe.
So the bomb squad was called out while they were trying to take care of that suspicious package. They say that bomb exploded on its own. Now, luckily, no one was injured in this case. We'll continue to bring you updates as this story develops. Reporting live from the northwest side, Chris Gilmore, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
I know he ran the red light, but he changed lanes into her lane and hit her head on.
2 people are recovering this morning after a traffic stop takes an unexpected turn. Oklahoma City police officers say the suspect was pulled over for speeding at Southeast 44th and Eastern yesterday, but then suddenly the suspect sped away from police. Less than a mile down the road, the suspect crashed into a truck. At last check, both people in the truck were stable. The suspect is arrested, facing several complaints this morning.
In Oklahoma City, that fire over the weekend that killed one man, we have learned, was an accident. It was Saturday morning at Northwest Expressway in Sharon Lane. A woman made it out of the home. Her husband, though, stayed behind to fight the fire. He never made it out. Crews say a dog also died in that fire. Also, new developments on a major drug bust in Pawhuska last month. Pawhuska police found thousands of pounds of what first was believed to be marijuana during a traffic stop. DEA test results show that some of the products were barely above the legal threshold for hemp. The 2 men carrying the load have been in jail for about a month.
They just happened to go get dispatched to this load, which they were assured was a legitimate load, and they did what they were told to do, and it wound up getting them thrown in the Osage County Jail.
We reached out to the Osage County DA to figure out what's next, if charges will be filed or not. We have not heard back. We'll keep you posted.
Time now for a traffic alert. A check of your drive times this morning at 6:36. 24 minutes right now on the Broadway extension southbound to get to I-40. Average speed about 43 miles per hour. 6 minutes on I-35 southbound to get from North Edmond to I-44. And 6 minutes on the Lake Hefner Parkway between the Kilpatrick and I-44. Fog is a big story this morning, so just be careful.
A heads up in southeastern Oklahoma. Hugo Public Schools are closed for the rest of the week. Why? A flu outbreak. The district says bus drivers, teachers, office workers, students, everyone needs to stay home. Crews will actually be sanitizing school facilities so everyone can return to school next Monday. One note, athletics will continue, but they say if you have a fever, you don't feel well, don't come to any of the games. Also here in Oklahoma City in the Edmond area, Angie DeBow Elementary School over off May Avenue, it's closed today too because of a water break. Here's the text that went out. The school posted this message last night. It says keep checking back for updates of when the elementary school will reopen. Governor Kevin Stitt gave his first State of the State address yesterday, marking the beginning of this year's session and a new tone for Oklahoma.
Our Grant Herms has more on what the governor had to say about his new vision for Oklahoma. Grant, good morning.
Lacey, Robin, good morning. Governor Stitt laid out an ambitious and optimistic business-minded vision for the state of Oklahoma in his address yesterday. Among his chief concerns was criminal justice reform, where he called for better ways to help people out of the cycle of incarceration while at the same time supporting corrections officers. He also called for a $70 million increase in education funding to help fund another teacher pay raise. That would amount to about $1,200 for teachers and would bring the teacher pay in Oklahoma to the first in the region. He also asked for sweeping changes how to fire and hire agency department heads. He was elected on a message of holding government accountable and says being able to hire or fire department officials will help him better serve Oklahomans, or as he calls us, customers. But Democrats, however, urged caution with that idea.
By granting the governor hiring and firing authority, you will know exactly where the buck stops. At my desk.
We fear that that is a return to political patronage, that the governor will be able to put his friends and supporters in those positions when they may not be qualified. So we are very hesitant to endorse that plan.
Republican leaders here at the Capitol have already said they'd be willing to give Stitt those new expanded powers. Live at the Capitol, Grant Herms, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Grant, thank you. Breaking from overnight, federal prosecutors have issued a subpoena for documents from President Trump's inaugural committee.
Caitlin Ogle has the details from the alert desk. Caitlin, what's going on?
Well, federal prosecutors say they're looking into how President Trump's inaugural committee raised and spent its money for the event. This is the latest in a series of criminal investigations by special counsel Robert Mueller. Investigators believe by getting these documents, they'll figure out who donated money, how much they donated, and who went to the event. According to the documents, they also want to know about any benefits they might have gotten in exchange for the money. The subpoena specifically mentions that they want any information related to foreign donors. A spokeswoman for the committee says they just got the subpoena and they're reviewing it. From the alert desk, Caitlin Ogle, News 9.
Caitlin, thank you.
Lacey's here with the Before You Go forecast. Oh, we've got some big news weather-wise to talk about.
There's so many things. You want to talk fog, you want to talk drizzle, severe weather, freezing rain. You pick.
Let's do fizzle. Fizzle. That's fog and drizzle.
And drizzle.
Yeah.
We'll get you out the door first. That's what we have going on. A little fizzle, a little bit of fog right now. Southwestern side, southeastern sides of the metro, north sides from Guthrie all the way up into northern Oklahoma. Fog free, but man, it is dense once you get further into southwestern Oklahoma, from Chickasha all the way down to Comanche, back to Thomas, Clinton, Sayre, out in the Texas Panhandle. Freezing fog in Kansas, and we're just cold enough along the Oklahoma-Kansas border. We could see some very light freezing fog through your mid-morning. As of right now, that's not happening. Fog will likely be with us all the way through 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Cloud cover through the day. Temperatures making it into the lower mid-50s. We'll see a chance for showers increasing late this afternoon. Not expecting heavy rain. We really warm it up tomorrow. The boundary lifts all the way into Kansas before an Arctic blast swings in for your Thursday. We are talking falling temperatures, wind chills in the single digits. But what about the rest of that I mentioned? Jed will talk about the chance for severe weather, little winter mix, also that Arctic blast coming up after the break.